Good morning.
Goeiemôre.
Jeez, where has this year gone by? Hey, it's been crazy.
Yeah, it's over
I've
almost.
just, I've just did the sums now. We did 49 of 30 minutes with Jan in 2023 already. So 49 down and about two to go. That makes 51.
Oh, okay,
And we missed
sure.
we missed one.
Okay.
So yeah, that is what has happened. Let's put up some lights on here.
Yeah,
We,
time flies.
We've been struggling a bit with the sunlight this morning, and I'm not complaining. It's not often that we have sunlight to complain about. So
But
yeah,
the wind has been
the wind's been
terrible
howling.
for the
So,
last 3 days.
mm,
Really bad wind.
so
So we're supposed to go on the ferry to the South Island on Friday, and I'm just praying that the wind will.
it'll be a new experience as well. So
I'm scared they don't go if the wind
yeah,
is
but then
too.
you just as a backup for the next one, and then they'll just do
Oh,
double runs.
okay.
But somewhere along the line, they fit
You'll get there.
everybody in at the end of the day. So yeah. So my nine
Okay.
o'clock appointment this morning has cancelled. So this will be the time that I change the hooks on the vehicles and stuff like that. So
Mm.
I'm going to take half an hour off this morning early just to quickly get the hook on, or the towing bar, the right
Yeah.
towing bar on, and so forth. So just tomorrow morning early, we're leaving for Wellington. So we'll be traveling another, it's about an eight and a half hour travel with our vehicles
Mm.
to Wellington, and then by Saturday morning we're getting on the ferry, and that's when the whole group will be together on the ferry. So
Yeah, looking
yep,
forward to
that's
it.
gonna be fun. So,
But
but
yeah,
yeah, we'll still be working next week.
yes, no, we'll be
Yeah,
working all the
mm,
time. So, um, yeah, nothing stops.
yeah, just that's from the 22nd till about the 8th. I'm gonna take a bit real slow,
A bit of a
uh,
breather.
bit of a breather
Mm,
just to get over this year. So
yeah.
yeah, but everybody I talked to yesterday said it's time. The year can
Yeah,
end
everyone.
now.
It's funny. Beginning of December, you can kind of feel like you're going
Yeah,
want to go slower, and you just
except
over
that,
it.
I've got this feeling that from the 1st of December, especially this year, it is as if people became way busier.
I know.
It's I've got people that's got urgent stuff to do. They said, "Put me out, please. Put me out to Feb." It's just,
Mm,
and I'm talking about real urgent stuff.
yeah,
So, yep, what can you do? If that is
that's
how busy
life.
people's lives have become, that's how busy they
That's
become, man.
life. Oh, I'm gonna
Yeah.
sneeze now first.
Oh, don't sneeze. Oh,
Oh,
all right.
sorry.
Let's hope it's not COVID. That one.
Yeah, sounds like COVID is back with a
With a bang,
with
yeah.
yeah,
Mm,
and it apparently it's a new strain or something. It's
that's all
also
right.
Omicron, but a new strain of Omicron, and I know of people that's in a coma in hospital at the moment. So
Yeah, that's
yeah,
that's one of the negatives of that.
yeah,
You read something on Facebook this week?
yeah. We thought we'd touch on a few subjects this morning, and the one thing that I read this week, and I actually had a discussion with my friend Alida about it yesterday. Um, it's a mom, um, early 30s, with two children. They've been here almost a year now, and she is so emotional. And I know that this time of the year has got a lot to do with
Mm,
it, but she's just her parents are crying on that side, missing the kids and missing them, and the kids are crying on this side, missing the grandma, um, and she's just kind of between two fires. She doesn't know which way to go. She's feeling like maybe they should go back to South Africa because she can't deal with this. And she's not the only one. I can tell you that.
yeah.
There are a lot of people, especially younger people with young children that's missing their grandparents, and you don't have a support system here. So you really miss your parents that always helped you with the children and stuff. So I can get where she's coming from. And the comments that she got, and the just the wisdom of some people is just to hang in there. Just you can't
But
go back.
was all the comments good?
All the comments were a lot of people agreed because they're in the
Mm,
same situation and they're feeling the same. Some people have been here for more than 2 years and they still kind of
mm,
wonder shouldn't they go back, because it's really difficult to be here on your
yeah.
own, especially if the people back home are emotional about it all the
Mm.
time.
And let's face it, the people back home is going to be emotional about
Yeah,
that.
and you are also going
Mm.
to be emotional, but and Alida's also, her sister-in-law arrived a week ago or something, and I mean she's older, she's like 45 or something, but she's in exactly the same
Yeah.
situation. Everything is new and everything is
Mm.
difficult, and she, you know, you miss your support system. But as we always say, you can't just give yourself a year or a few months
Mm.
and then think maybe you should go back. You're grieving. It's like you lost someone. I know we've been through this and it's
Yeah.
really difficult, but just hang in there and remember why you came. Every time that you feel that way, remember why you
Mm.
came. I know your heart will tell you, go back,
Yeah.
but listen to your head this time.
Yeah. Just good evening to everybody that says good morning, good
Mm.
evening, and so forth. To those in South Africa, it's actually good morning. It's 7 o'clock in the morning in New Zealand. So yeah, the main thing I think people is forgetting. People forget.
Mm.
I myself was in that situation about 6 or 8 months in our first trip here. I just got to the point where I thought, "Jeez, how much must that Coke cost?" That was my one eye opener that day,
Mm.
and I walked into the shop really wanting to buy a Coke, but I didn't have $4.50.
Yeah. Look,
So
it is expensive, and
it
that's
is.
why,
But sometimes something small like that
yeah.
could trip you, and suddenly it just doesn't make sense to be here anymore. But that was only a trigger. There's a
Mm.
lot of other stuff
A lot of
in
stuff
you
will
that,
trigger you. We've been
yeah,
here 6 years now, and something still triggers me.
yeah,
It's like it will never really go away. But what I want to say to those people with the young children, remember, you are the generation that's making sure that your kids and their generation will be okay.
yeah,
So it's difficult for you, and I'm sure the parents understand and they
mm,
want you to go, but it is not easy. We're in just this opposite
yeah.
situation
We've
where the
got
children are going
grandchildren
to
down
there
there.
and we here,
Mm,
and I know exactly how you feel, and
yeah.
I know exactly how your mom must feel. But you have to
We
bear
should
it out.
never forget, and I've got to remind myself of this. We as South Africans have got a history of moving.
Yes.
From the French Huguenot, what was that, 300 years ago? I'm not talking about Van Riebeeck because Van Riebeeck came on his own. It
Mm,
wasn't immigrating. He just was sent to go and do a job.
mm,
So, but the French Huguenots, they decided they can't live in that country anymore. I think they were
mm,
stupid, by the way, but they came to South Africa.
mm.
And then they all came together in Cape Town. And half of them couldn't speak English. And they decided they were going to leave. And they moved up to
Yeah, no,
Free
it's
State.
a whole yeah,
Yeah.
it's just the way.
So we've been a track folk. We've been moving.
Yes.
I don't know what the English word is of track folk, but
It
it
doesn't
basically
make
means
it
people that can
easier.
move.
It doesn't
It
make it
doesn't, and
easier.
I'm not saying it makes it easier, but that is part of our DNA. Part of our
Mm,
gene is to, if it's not nice here, we got to go on and look for
mm.
the next best place and the next best place. So
I think you must just be honest with yourself. And I mean, if you need a good cry, just cry.
yeah,
And
and go and cry with somebody who would
we'll
who
understand.
would give you a real shoulder regarding
I
that.
think
Yeah,
every single woman in New
yeah.
Zealand that immigrated from anywhere will know exactly what you're going
They've got
through.
all these
Mm.
hotlines. I think you guys should start the cry line.
Won't that be fun? We can just cry all the time.
Shit.
And the thing is, be honest with your parents as well. Tell them that you are really struggling
Mm.
and that you hear them, but they're actually making it difficult for you
You should
to
actually tell
kind of
them
settle
you're really
in.
struggling, but you're not going back.
Yeah.
And if you think about going back, guys, do what I do. I watch Carte Blanche.
And the one thing that I see that really works, ask them to come and visit you.
Mm.
I've seen, as soon as the parents come and visit and they see where you're living and the way that you live and how free the children are
Yeah.
and how happy the kids are, then they go back. They still miss you and it's still really hard, but they are back with a different mindset
Mm.
and just a little peace of mind that you're actually okay. So
they're going to be jealous, but
yeah, just get them to come and visit you.
Yeah.
So that they can see that you are living a better life, even though you're probably struggling financially. I know it's really difficult at the moment.
and struggling financially, I would say, can I say so fast as about 60% of all people that arrive here is in the first 2 years struggling financially.
No, it's normal.
The one thing, the biggest problem there, except that sometimes the money is really too little, the biggest problem there is your brain. Your brain struggles to adapt to the prices here. If you walk into Kmart, you can buy stuff for $5, $2, $10. It doesn't sound that much, but if back in South Africa, it would have been 50 Rand, 20 Rand, 100 Rand.
Yeah, but I don't think it's just that. Stuff are really expensive.
It is expensive, but still, in my mind, if I see something, I think, geez, that's not too bad for 200 Rand. And then I realize it's actually $200. It's not 200 Rand, it's 2,000 Rand. And then I've got to rethink the whole time. So I'm going to put that one up. Read that. My grandfather came from Holland to South Africa just after World War II to give his family a better life, and it was. Struggled in the beginning, but it worked. Now I'm doing the same.
Yeah.
You've got big boots to fill, and your grandfather, I do believe he won't be around anymore.
Yeah.
We'll be proud of
and
you.
We are strong people. South Africans are strong people. Every single immigrant is strong.
I'm going to put this up, and I do believe the question is it only to New Zealand that people struggle to adapt?
No.
I got to tell you, I think New Zealand is probably one of the easier countries to adapt because you are surrounded by heaps of South Africans, really. And except if South Africans is not your thing, you get these people who think South Africans are not their thing at all, but they were born and bred in South Africa. But it makes it easier to talk to somebody, or if you are Afrikaans, just to go around and talk a bit in Afrikaans.
And someone is also saying Christmas is a terrible time for new immigrants. We've been there, done that. It is a really hard time. It helps to make new traditions for your own life. I think you as the parents must just kind of set your feelings aside over the Christmas time and just kind of try to make it special and few new traditions in New Zealand for your kids. New Zealanders kind of do Christmas different than, I don't know, it's just kind of different.
Yeah, it's different. But you also got to remember that although the Kiwis have got families and stuff, they're not as much family orientated as we are. We've got a total different way to look at families. We as South Africans. And I'm not saying they're right or wrong. Don't get me. This is their way. Our way is a bit different. I mean, we like to get all the family together, and so.
And I think that is also what makes it hard now over Christmas time. You know that all your family in South Africa is going to be together, and you're here all alone.
Yeah.
And I know. Fake it till you make it. Just try to be happy.
There's something to be said about the power of crying, especially for women. It really sometimes helps.
Yeah.
Just go and
have a good cry.
Have a good cry and get over it.
He would sometimes say to me, "Why are you crying?" And I really don't know. I just want to cry. So just cry your heart out. You'll feel so much better.
This is a good one. I'm going to say something about you. Children feel our emotions and reflect our attitudes. We help ourselves and our children by having an attitude of gratitude.
Yeah.
It is. And the thing is, if you are going to cry in front of your kids the whole time, they are going to feel that something is totally wrong with everything. You understand what I mean? So if you cry, do it somewhere else and come out with a big smile and take them to the park.
That's why I say fake it till you make it.
Yeah, have them free roaming kids.
Yeah, sometimes they have to see you cry, but not all the time. Otherwise, they're just going to think mommy's not happy here. And it is a difficult one.
Yeah.
It is a difficult one. And you know what? I actually thought about this week when I saw that post and I kind of pondered upon it. When we lived in South Africa, I was working in a psychiatry practice. And you know how many immigrants from other countries came to see the psychiatrist? It never
dawned you that this was a problem.
No. So I mean, there were Italians and Portuguese people and Chinese people and people from all
Yeah.
over. And now only am I thinking, oh my word, what must have they been going through?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
exactly the same, but then it didn't make any sense to me. So I'm wondering if it's the same here. People don't get
Hmm.
what you are actually going through as an immigrant.
Uh, the big thing is, and while you were saying this, I was just thinking about it. Even if you come over to something like a German,
Mm.
whose English is even crappier than ours,
Yes.
and I mean, all you want to do is say Guten Morgen, and nobody even understands you.
It's exactly the same, but I never thought of it that
Yeah,
way. And
it must
now
be
that I've been through
terrible.
it, that's why we say if you haven't immigrated, you will not know how
Hmm.
hard the journey really is.
It
Doesn't matter
is.
where you
It is.
go.
Guys, if you got comments, please leave them. I can see some of the comments on the other page which we can't pop up, like Trevor saying he's going to pull his nose up this morning, and Peter Goosen and Joan Labuskachny. Guys, yeah, we are back in 2024, January the 15th. We're starting work again officially, although a week earlier we'll start running with like crazy again. I know how it goes. So
I don't know why Trevor thinks we can't see his comments.
it's
We can
because
see everything.
we can't pop on this side.
Oh,
It's sometimes just weird. So
we can see everything, Trevor.
yeah, the whole thing is once you start going into the spiral of feeling sad for yourself and so forth, it sometimes takes a hell of a lot to get you out of that.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about a massive motivation. And sometimes your husband or wife doesn't know what you are going through. And frankly, sometimes they don't even understand what you're going through.
Mm.
And sometimes you can be going through this and your partner can be going through this at a later stage, and you don't know each what the other one is going through because you've been gone through this dark period, and now you're feeling better. Now he's or her is in their dark period.
Mm.
It's a
And never think, because that we get a lot, if your wife is crying all the time, it doesn't mean that she wants to go back.
or that
That
it's your fault. Although she'll tell you it's your fault because that's what women do then.
no,
Yeah.
it's
Oh
not.
yeah, oh yeah.
Just because she misses her family and she misses the familiarity of what South Africa was to her doesn't mean that she wants to go back. Of course, a lot of men think she's unhappy and why did I do this? Maybe we should just go back. That's not what she
Yeah.
wants. She just wants to cry. So just hold her for a few minutes. You don't even have to say a thing. You don't
Guys,
have to fix anything.
you've heard this. This is a strange species,
I
a
know.
very, very strange species.
We don't want you to fix it. We just want you to hold us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please read what Talita wrote there. We
Yes.
can't put this on the screen.
Also, you can't fill other people's cups if you don't fill your own. Therefore, taking care of your emotions and communicating is crucial, especially throughout the migration journey. That is very true.
And I think what Talita probably would also refer to, if you had a cry together with whoever else you are going to cry with,
Yep.
Thereafter you should start building each other up. You should
Yeah.
not take the spiral further down.
And that is what, and I know this is so hard, but when you get to New Zealand and you have no one, man, just kind of reach out to anyone. What is
that is the best one. I'm going to name and shame you. Conrad Larson saying it's his third year that you don't need to have a Christmas, and it's wonderful. There's no stress about gifts, and he's not forced to spend time with family. He doesn't want to. It's got its positive side as well. So
Yeah.
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 What he also says, and this is a word of wisdom: spend time with the family right through the year, and not only on
over
Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's important as well, guys.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people only see each other on funerals and on Christmas, and so it's probably the wrong thing. Except you're really, really very far apart. But
Yeah.
that's for some families the only time they can really tolerate each other, and it's sad.
What I wanted to say is, when you get here and you're all alone and you need to cry, you need to fill your cup, but you don't know where to get the water from. I know it's really hard and you probably don't want to do this, but please just call me or just call anyone. Talitha is there all the time. I know a few ladies. I can probably, they won't mind me put their names up. just get in contact and just say, listen, I'm struggling. I need to just talk to
Yeah.
someone.
We have a network of, I would say, friends, or can I say beloved friends? Is
Yes.
that probably the
Yeah.
beloved friends? And we don't mind to share them with you guys. So
Yeah.
if you really need to have somebody to cry with you and still keep an open mind at the end of the
Mm.
day,
Remember, we've been there. We
reach
know
out.
what it
Yeah.
feels like, and we can try to fill your cup so that you can just be there for your
Mm.
family again.
And if we're not in the same
And
town, we probably know about somebody in your town.
even if you just talk over the phone, that can
Yeah.
also work. And these Zoom and these
Mm.
WhatsApp video call and whatever. And remember, we are here in Tauranga, and you are more than welcome. Anyone that comes to Tauranga, that comes through Tauranga, to just pop in for
Oh
a
yeah.
coffee. If whether you knew, whether you've been here for how many years, we would love to
You
just,
should say not before the 15th of January.
yeah, we'll be away. But please, it's so nice for us to meet new people and to just don't think because we've been here for 6 years that we won't care anymore. Um, I still have that
I think
heart.
I'll never stop caring.
No,
It's
you'll
one of
never
it's just
stop. You'll never
that's
stop. Yeah,
part of my DNA. So yeah.
yeah. And I know this is also difficult, but I had to, after 2 years of not of being
Mm.
alone, I had to
Read that one from Maureen
get out.
Pretorius on that side.
Yeah. Everyone has a story to tell, and sometimes telling your story helps. Find someone who wants to hear your story and share theirs. Talk, talk,
Yeah.
talk. And that is funny, but that's what people do
Mm.
all the time. When you get together, it doesn't matter. We've been here for 6 years, and our friends have been here for 12 years. And when we get together, we still end up talking about immigration and
And
our journeys.
I could say a lot of the talk, and I'm not bad mouthing anybody today.
Mm.
A lot of the talk these days are how glad we are that we've left.
Yep.
And it will become your story as well one day that you can say, I have lived there, because it's not denying that you have lived there, but I'm glad I've left. I'm
Oh,
glad I've left.
this is
This is a
really
long one. I wonder if we can put it up there.
what?
Philosophical.
Philosophies.
Ah,
Now
let's
you
put it
took
on
it
there now.
away.
There it is. You can read it.
I love gardening and like to say that immigration is like transplanting one's soul, like when one transplants a plant from one pot to another, shaking off all the old soil and with it some of the roots. In the new pot, the plant experiences shock. It looks sad and it suffers, but only with time it will grow and look happier and grow new roots in its new soil, and then only be established and happy again.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is well said.
I want you to read.
Well said.
Okay, let's. I'll translate it to English. Shemaine van der Walt just saying she doesn't feel Christmassy this year. She misses her people and she feels like she wants to give up. All
Shemaine
right.
is going through a really difficult
Yeah, she's
time,
going through a difficult time.
and just remember that you may feel alone. You're not alone. You're in our thoughts, in my thoughts, every single day. Don't
Yeah.
give up.
Guys, our first Christmas year as well, we didn't feel Christmassy at all.
Mm.
We were stuffed around by somebody who pretended to be our friend, blah, blah, blah. Long story, we decided to do our own Christmas with people in New Zealand. And we invited a lot of people, and we had a massive party at the end of the day. I actually forgot that I wasn't in South Africa.
Yeah.
But we had to put it out there and say, let's go and do something else.
Yeah.
Let's go and do something else.
It's up to
Nobody
you.
invited us.
No, it's up
No,
to you.
it's up to you.
Yeah.
So
If you're going to sit and wait for someone to make you happy, you will be sitting a very long time.
yeah,
So, as I said, as difficult as it is, you have to kind of get out. I had to put myself in situations that I really didn't want to be in just to find my one very good friend. If I didn't do that, I never would have met her. And it was the first and the only time that I went to one of these get-togethers.
yeah.
And that's where
And
I
these
met
days
her.
you've got quite a few of them. So
I go to
no,
sometimes.
good few good friends.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
I've got
so.
many
But
good friends.
let's be honest, and we've adapted well, but it also was a long road for us. It wasn't an easy road.
No,
So
no.
mm.
No.
There's no easy road. There's no quick fix to
Yeah.
this. It's
Yeah.
time,
But
time,
I
time,
think
time.
the sooner you decide to make New Zealand your home
Mm.
and stop to think of South Africa as your home, the sooner you will get your roots into your
Yeah.
new soil,
And
as you
sometimes you
said.
just need to go and plant a tree. Do that.
Yeah. You know what? When you get your citizenship,
We still got to do that.
we still got to do
Yeah.
that. You get a voucher for a tree, and you can go and plant your tree. So that is also, geez, makes me emotional thinking about it. Just kind of, oh, this is now my country, and yes, I'm part of it.
Mm.
So yeah,
So
before I started
no,
crying.
don't do that. There's no. I was just looking. There's no teachers or shit there.
No.
So
Uh,
yeah, I think on that high note we should wrap up and say
we didn't even get to what we actually
no,
wanted to talk
no,
about. Sorry.
no. It's all good. It's all good. We actually want to talk about a few highlights for the year.
Yeah.
We talked about what happened the past year, and then we thought we'll talk about a few personal highlights, but we can do that on another time. So
Yeah. So again, I'm saying, please WhatsApp me
mm.
if you just want some
let's
reassurance.
let's do something else.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do something else. I'm going to be with a family over Christmas, so I can't do it this year. So
Mm.
I'm sorry about that. I can't do it this year. I've been doing this every other year. If you got space for one or two people at your Christmas table, put that on one of our Facebook pages. That's one of the posts I will easily allow. Or if you want to go out and say, let's do a braai on Christmas Day. I don't know what's Christmas Day. Is it Saturday or Sunday? But anyway,
I know.
whatever that day is, I haven't even looked that far ahead.
Mm.
Whatever that day is, guys, if you want to do something, go and find the venue. Find out if you are allowed to make fires before the time. It could be heartbreaking, except you want to do the gas thing, which is
Probably
also
you
all right.
won't be, so.
Yeah, but put yourself out there. Put yourself out there, um, and you be the change in the community. You be the guy that says, "Come to us.
Mm.
Let's have a party
And
together."
you know what? Even if it's just you and one other person at the end of the time,
Yeah.
that's also fine. You make a difference in that
Yeah,
person's
we
life.
change one person's life.
And
It's
if
a massive
you,
change.
on the receiving side, if you see a post like that, don't be a true South African and think, oh, well, I can do this too. You know how
Yep.
people think. Go, put yourself out there and just go. Otherwise, how are you going to make friends if you don't
Yeah.
put yourself out there?
And if you see a post like this and you go, invite a few of your friends as well.
Make it, yes, make it
Go and have
memorable.
as much fun as you can.
Yeah, we are
So
going to be in the South Island, so I hope we will have some kind of internet connection.
we will have some internet connection most of the days.
Okay.
It's only the days that we go deep in the mountains that we won't have.
Yeah.
Guys, what we are going to do in the South Island, we're going to camp all over, and we are going to do a few of those iconic 4x4 tracks. So keep track of us on our Expedition Outrua page. That's where we're going to be most of the time, as well as on my personal Facebook page. If you see us in your area, feel free. We will try and do a braai probably nearly every evening if possible. So I don't know if everybody's going to allow us to braai, but
Yeah, probably not, but
we're
we'll
gonna
do gas
we've
thing.
got now it's gonna sneak a braai in there somewhere. So reach out and come say hi. And if you've got a 4x4 that's equipped and want to travel with us for the day, come and we'll let you know before the time where we are going to be and what we are going to ride or drive. The thing is, we can't make that available now. We will see nearer to the time, and it's all dependent on weather-wise. Some of the places we got to cross some broad rivers a few times, and if it has rained a lot, we will not be able to do that. So,
Okay, so
right.
we'll chat next week Thursday. Where are we going to be next week Thursday?
Somewhere in the South Island. I don't know.
I am so unprepared for this trip. Normally, I've got a whole itinerary with
We're going
everything.
to Tasman for the first period of time.
This time I'm just going with you.
I'm just packing the stuff. So, I just want to say Merry Christmas to a lot of people who said Merry Christmas to us. Yes, so
we'll talk again before Christmas.
We'll talk again before Christmas. But to those who can't be on Christmas with us,
and to those guys that's going on holiday, please drive safely and enjoy everything that New Zealand has got to offer.
And if you got loved ones here during Christmas, I'm very, very glad, because that makes Christmas a bit easier for you. I know a lot of parents have arrived in the past few days, and I'm so glad for them that they reached out and came to their kids in New Zealand. It's so important.
Yeah. And for you that's still waiting for your visas to come, enjoy, make the best of this Christmas with your family, because
We've
you
got
never
family
know.
as well that's waiting for their visas
Yeah,
to come.
we are so excited.
Yeah.
This has been an awesome year in that sense. Yeah. Okay, guys.
Thanks, Conrad. Shalom to you as well. All right, guys and girls, thanks a lot, and we'll speak next time.
Bye.
Bye.